If you've ever asked yourself this question, is my autistic partner intentionally hurting me? Then I want you to hear this clearly. You're not weak for asking it, you're not dramatic, and you're not imagining your pain. Because when emotional injuries repeat themselves over and over, the human nervous system does what it's designed to do. It looks for intent. And today we're going to talk about that gently, honestly, and without minimizing your experience as the neurotypical spouse. Hi, I'm Mark, and I work with neurotypical partners and neurodiverse partners who are living inside neurodivergent relationships that feel confusing, lonely, and emotionally dangerous. This video is not about excusing hurtful behavior, and it's not about telling you to be more understanding. It's about answering one painful question that keeps you up at night. Is this on purpose? Because the answer matters. It changes how your body reacts. It changes whether you stay, and it changes whether you can heal. Let's talk about why this question hurts so much, okay? Let's start right here. When someone hurts you once, it's painful. When they hurt you repeatedly, it becomes threatening. Your nervous system starts to say, they know this hurts me. I've explained it clearly. They keep doing it anyway. At that point, intent feels like the only explanation that makes sense. Because in neurotypical relationships, repetition usually does mean intent. But neurodivergent relationships don't operate by the same internal rules. And that's where the confusion and the trauma begins. Let's talk about two different operating systems. Here's something most people don't tell you early enough. You and your autistic partner may be living in two different meaning-making systems. For you, the NT spouse, emotional cues are data, tone, timing, and facial expression. These all carry meaning, and repair happens through acknowledgement and empathy. For autistic partners, intent is based on logic, not impact. Emotional subtext is often invisible, and if they didn't mean to harm, they may not register that harm occurred. So when you say, this hurts me, they may hear, I'm being accused of something I didn't intend to do, rather than, oh, my partner is wounded and needs repair. This mismatch alone creates years of unresolved pain. Now let's look at the critical distinction between intent and impact. Listen carefully, this is important. Lack of intent does not cancel out impact. You can be unintentionally hurtful and still be responsible. Most neurotypical partners are told directly or indirectly, they didn't mean it. That's just autism. You're taking it too personally. And over time, that message trains you to doubt your own nervous system. But here's the truth. Pain does not require malicious intent to be real. Neglect does not require cruelty to be damaging. And emotional abandonment does not require anger to be traumatic. Now, let's talk about why it feels intentional anyway. Even when harm isn't intentional, it feels intentional when you've explained it dozens of times, there is no visible effort to adjust, your pain is met with defensiveness or shutdown, and accountability never follows impact. At that point, your body stops asking, do they understand? And starts asking, do I matter? That's not manipulation. That's survival psychology. Now let's talk about the hard truth most videos avoid. Here's something I'm going to say very plainly. Some autistic partners can learn to reduce harm. Some cannot or will not. And if you, as the neurotypical spouse, are required to sacrifice your emotional health while waiting to find out which category your partner falls into, that's a problem. Autism does explain differences. It does not automatically excuse damage. If there is no curiosity about your inner world, no ownership of repeated harm, no movement toward repair, no willingness to learn relational skills, then the question of intent becomes less important than the reality of chronic injury. Let's talk about you, the neurotypical spouse, for a moment. When harm is ongoing and unresolved, neurotypical partners often develop anxiety, hypervigilance, depression, emotional numbing, self-doubt, and loss of identity. Many describe feeling like they are invisible in their own marriage. This is not because you're too sensitive. It's because attachment without emotional reciprocity is destabilizing. Your nervous system is not broken. It's reacting to inconsistency and emotional absence. Now let's pause for just a moment. If you're watching this and your chest feels tight, if you feel seen and scared at the same time, take one slow breath in through your nose and let it out slowly. You're not alone in this experience, and nothing is wrong with you for needing clarity. Okay, from now on, instead of asking, is my autistic partner intentionally hurting me? You may need to ask, is my partner capable of meeting my emotional needs? Is there evidence of learning and adjustment over time? Am I safer emotionally now than I was a year ago? What is this relationship costing me? These questions don't require blame. They require honesty. Now let's talk about what healthy accountability looks like. Healthy accountability in a neurodivergent relationship sounds like the following, and this is for the ASD spouse. I didn't realize that I hurt you, but I believe you. Help me understand what you experience. I may not feel it the same way, but I care that you do. Let's find tools that work for both of us. Now, if those statements or something like it are constantly absent, your pain is not a misunderstanding, it's a pattern. Now, I want to leave you with this. You are allowed to name your pain. You are allowed to stop explaining endlessly. You are allowed to prioritize your emotional safety. Whether harm is intentional or not, your experience still matters. And clarity, real clarity, doesn't come from defending your feelings. It comes from seeing reality clearly and choosing what's healthiest for you. Now, if this video resonated, you're not imagining things and you're not alone. Subscribe if you want more honest conversations about neurodivergent relationships, emotional safety, and healing. And if you'd like help making sense of your situation without blame and pressure, I'll see you in the next video. Also, if you want to talk with me one-on-one, there'll be a link in the description and also pinned in the comments section. Take care of yourself. Would you like to schedule a paid private coaching session? This will be in the form of a face-to-face Zoom call. Underneath any of my videos, you'll see this Calendly link. If you click on that link, it'll open up my calendar. You can pick the available days and times that works for your schedule. You'll get a follow-up email immediately after purchasing a session that will have the Zoom link that coincides with the day and time that you picked. I will get an email too that you scheduled a session, and I will be available on that exact day and time, and we will talk. I look forward to working with you.